Hey everybody, welcome back to another Deck Profile Friday. Got a super exciting one for you today, as this is the deck that ended up winning Nationals in 2009, and basically was the deck that caused me to miss top 32. Alright, I ended up getting 33rd, and I was playing Flygon, which, obviously the big weakness is Lightning. And what was the most popular Lightning Pokemon in 2009 Nationals? Well, it was Luxray GL LvX. That's the most popular Pokemon, but it wasn't just that, right? The whole deck was, pretty dangerous, because it not only played Luxray, but it played Infernape for level X. This is the LuxApe archetype. That's what they call it, right? Kyle Pooka Sucevich won U.S. Nationals that year. And this is kind of my own take on it, right? Obviously still, room for change. But, yeah, we're going to get into the deck profile. This is my own personal build. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We got 3 Luxray GL and 1 Luxray GL LvX. I'm going to do this kind of in sections here. 3 of those, 1 level X. We got 2 Infernape 4s and 1 Infernape 4 level X. And then lastly, we got 1 Uxie and 1 Uxie level X, right? Or Uxie, right? However you say it, right? Everybody says it differently. This is pretty much the core attacking group of the deck, right? Luxray GL there, right, is actually really good against Flygon. It's great against knocking out that Palkia, right? Some people were still playing Kingdra, right? So it's great at knocking out Kingdras, right? And it also was actually the first year where Gyarados, the energyless one for each Magikarp in your discard pile does 30 damage, was being played. So this ended up is actually really good against that deck as well, the Luxray. And yeah, so it does 80 HP, 1 retreat, resistance to metal, and then weakness ×2, right? And then it's a fighting, bite 2 colorless for 30, and then trash bolt, lightning 2 colorless for 70, and then you need to discard an energy card from your hand to do it. And that there levels up into Luxray GL LvX, which has got the Poké Power Bright Look, which is basically a boss's orders, which is awesome. 110 HP, free retreat, resistance to metal, and weakness to fighting. And then its attack there, flash impact for lightning and colorless does 60, and then 30 to one of your Pokemon. So this is really good, right? Because with an energy gain, you just attack first, and one lightning, you just, like a single attachment, you just attack for 60. And it could be spraying out of nowhere. But this year is a very prime power spray target, right? Lots of players want to power spray that. So, yeah, that's pretty clutch. Infernape 4, 90 HP, so a little bit higher, right? 1 retreat cost, no resistance and weakness to water. Split Bomb Fire Colorless does 30 damage to 2 of your Pokemon here. I believe it's 20 damage. So I'm used to seeing the camera up, right? The camera up from Deoxys and the Executor, which I'm pretty sure they both do 30. So I'm still a little surprised that this one doesn't. But yeah, 20 damage to 2. And then high jump kick there for fire, 2 colorless does 50 damage, but obviously it's there to go up to the level X. 110 HP, free retreat, no resistance, weakness to water. And this card is one of the beefcakes of the deck here. Right, one of my favorite cards ever, or I guess not cards, Pokemon ever. It's probably my favorite starter, fire starter, of all the fire starters out there is Infernape. And it's a Pokepower there, Intimidating Roar. Once during your turn, you may have your opponent switch his or her active with one of his or her benched. So this is sweet. It's just basically, like a, I guess an escape rope or a warp point, right? Just make them switch out, right? Actually, if you really want to go into it, it's basically a Pokemon circulator. All right, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, and then it's attack there, Fire Spin for 2 fire and a colorless. Does 100 and then discard 2 energy from Infernape 4. So this is a crazy. I really like this card, right? Infernape, right? A lot of the big arguments, back in 2010 was, which is better, Infernape or Blaziken? Well, if you're going for power, you want Infernape, right? And if you want disruption, probably Ape 2. But if you want to just quick attack, right, quick, responsive, high damage attack, right, then Blaziken is definitely way better. So Uxie there, 70 HP, 1 retreat, no resistance, weakness to psychic plus 20, so not ×2, right, because it's not an SP. And then setup, right, it's Pokepower, when you play it onto your bench, draw cards until you have 7 in your hands, so pretty cool. And then Psychic Restore for 1 colorless does 20, and then you may put Uxie and all cards attached to the bottom of your deck, so that's pretty cool. And the Uxie level X, 60 HP, 1 retreat cost, no resistance, weakness to Psychic ×2. Its ability trade off, put look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand and then put the other on the bottom of your deck. So pretty good. And then Zenblade 2 colorless does 60. Can't use it next turn. So pretty cool. And this is the core attacking group of the deck. So really love these cards. These are all original too and basically mint. Right? I've been collecting these. I've had this. I've got like 4 of this. All regular. I'm probably gonna switch into the Celebrations one, just so I can eventually get them graded too. I think I got like 4 or 5 Uxies, so yeah, I've definitely been playing for a while. Rest of the Pokemon, we got a 1/1 Claydol line, right? One of the most popular draw engines ever, Claydol. We got a 1/1 Ninetales line. This is pretty odd, but if you knew what was in the format, you'd basically understand, right? And then I guess we're gonna get into these singles, right? The single Pokemon, we got a Bronzong G, we got a Crobat G, we got a Lucario GL, we got a Roserade GL, we got a Chatot, we got an Unown G, and then an Unown Q, and that is it for the Pokemon. So Baltoy there is the best one because it's got that psychic balance attack, draw cards from your deck until you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent does, so pretty cool. It's mainly there to evolve to Claydol though, with its cosmic power, Pokepower there. You may put up to 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck and then draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, right? If you have more than 6 cards, you can still do that, right? If you have more than, I guess, 8 cards, right? Even if you put 2 under, right? You drop down to 6, you won't draw anything, but you can do that, right? You can do that just for the sake of putting 2 cards under. Pretty cool. The Vulpix is a good Vulpix, right? Reheat, energy list. Discard up to 2 energy cards from your hand. For each card discarded, draw 2 cards. So really good. It's very similar to that dump and draw Magmar. If you remember the ZRE archetype, right? There's a dump and draw Magmar that did that. Confused right there on the Vulpix is not too bad, but the Ninetales, this is pretty crazy. But basically, the reason why we play Ninetales is because because of Mewtwo level X, right? Basically prevents damage done by basic Pokemon to it. So if the SP player doesn't have a Mewtwo counter, basically the Mewtwo player will just wall them for the whole game and then just attack until they can't, until they draw those 6 prizes. So and then the Ninetales there will one-shot a Mewtwo with Fire Blast there. 60 times 2, because it'll be the same type, which will be Psychic, to hit that 120. So pretty cool. Bronzong G is just there for Galactic Switch to move the energies around. Crobat G, right, is there to get that extra 10 damage into play with Flash Bite, right? An Infernape Force Fire Spin, right? There's 100. If you add a Flash Bite, there's an extra 10, right? That's 110, which knocks out opposing Luxray GL LvXs, etc. Lucario there. Lucario is there for basically doubling weakness, right, with Boundary Aura. Roserade's there just for some disruption with that Poison Bind. Chatot is there for a couple reasons. It's a free retreater, which is really good. Good to have, right? Other than the Luxray GL LvX and Infernape 4 level X, right? So that's really good to have. It can, basically a copycat with a mimic attack, right? And then chatter, its second attack there for 20. Basically, you can lock something active that you don't like and just leave it there and keep chattering until it's knocked out, right? So it's great at taking a couple good prizes like that, right? Unown G is to prevent effects done to your Pokemon. So like Machamp, from I believe it's Stormfront, its takeout attack, just knocks out basic Pokemon without even doing damage. That will prevent that effect. And then lastly, Unown Q. Basically, you just equip it to a Pokemon, right? You treat it as a tool, and it gives it 1 less retreat. So it basically turns into a rescue board. So from today's current standard. And that is it for the Pokemon. So one that I didn't mention here that I haven't put in, right, is the Diamond and Pearl promo Toxicroak G, the fighting one with that that leap away ability, Poke Power, and then Toxic Revenge, I believe it's called, right? You can put it in there if you want. If you think that the deck is going to be really popular, LuxApe, but I don't know, you don't really have to, right? Azelf was also another Legends Awaken there is also another really popular one that you may want to try. Trainer Supporter Stadiums, we got the SP package, so we got 4 Cyrus, search for a Team Galactic's invention, a supporter, and a basic energy card. I love this card. I wish this card was back right now on this type of idea, this type of theme. Right, we got 4 PokeTurn, which is basically scoop up nets, right, or scoop up basically for SP, right? So this allows you to reuse that Crobat Flash Bite, and you can do that like 4 more times after it was played first. We got 3 Team Galactic's energy gain. It just basically makes your attacks cost colorless less, which is cool. Team Galactic's Power Spray. Right, basically you're able to cancel out a Pokemon power that's being used. Team Galactic's SP Radar here, so basically it's Baby Search for SP Pokemon. It's another really good card. This is great at searching out just basics and you know, level X's of SPs. We got 4 Roseanne's Research, right? Super important card here. This is basically one of the most consistent cards in the deck here. Get that basic energy and you know, that basic Pokemon, or 2 of each, right? 2 either or of each, right? So 2 basics or 2 energies, etc., or 1 and 1. 2 Bebe Search, right? Basically SP Radar as a supporter card, right? Pretty cool. We got a Aaron's Collection, right? Basically, it's a rescue. I believe it's a rescue stretcher, right? For SP. Put 2 in any combination of Pokemon SP and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Sunnyshore Gym. Any damage done by attacks from lightning Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, to the defending Pokemon, isn't affected by resistance. Each lightning Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, has no weakness. So this is a pretty good card here, right? Not too bad at all. Might be a worth a spot to cut. 2 Premier Ball. So this card, another really good card here. Basically, you can search out level X's from your deck or discard pile. So really good in case if it gets discarded. 1 Luxury Ball, basically search for any Pokemon excluding level X. And then 1 Night Maintenance, which is basically Super Rod. So Super Rod has been around for a long time, just with various card names. And that is it for the trainers, supporters, and stadium cards. Alright, so now we're going to get into the energies. Energies are pretty basic, right? That Diamond and Pearl promo Toxicroak requires a Psychic Energy. So if you need to, right, you can feel free to swap out one of the energy cards for a Psychic Energy, right? Just so you can actually use it. But yeah, for energies, we got 6 fire, and I didn't even intend it to do that. Alright, okay, there we go. So six fire energies. Right, fire, we need 6 just because Infernape is super popular right here, and it's a good attacker, and also it's a double discard. Plus we got that Ninetales. We got another card to make this deck consistent, which is 4 call energies, right? And you need to play 4, right? Don't argue with me on this. And basically all my decks, right, that I've played call, I've tried it with 3, and then I've tried it with 4, and I like having that, that 4th one there, just so I actually start with it all the time. If I don't start the Roseannes, then I have that call. And then 3 lightning energy, obviously, for the Luxray. So we got 13 energies here, right? You can definitely swap a energy here for a psychic if you want. I'd probably go with the fire, right? I'd definitely do that. I think you can manage with 5 fire, but just do 1 psychic instead. And yeah, that is the deck, everybody. So yeah, very stoked about this. Machamp is definitely your hardest matchup, right? Really popular deck that I think it got second at Worlds. But yeah, it's very, very, very popular, this deck, and it's just a lot of fun, right? It's also very hard too, because of the different, moves that you can make, right? And it's kind of hard to it can be kind of really hard to plan out. So, but yeah, this is LuxApe here. LuxApe, Luxray Infernape with Uxie. And yeah, big thanks to I took basically a lot of ideas from Kyle's list, Kyle's Pooka Sucevich's list that he won US Nats with that year in 2009. And yeah, I just really love it. So it's a fun deck. But yeah, there you go, everybody. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.